Hello America, my name is William Garlington and welcome to ConservativesViewpoint.com. If you've been following us for the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about our mission. And our mission for the next 2 years is to help educate, help inform as many Americans as we can with the expansion and the protection of conservative values within America while we try to eliminate liberalism. We welcome all Americans, especially those moderates and liberals, to our site. So if you have a liberal or moderate friend and you happen to be conservative, send them to this site. Again, ConservativesViewpoint.com. There you will uncover facts and blogs and updates. You can also look at my past videos. We are going to be videoing through YouTube Monday through Friday, every day for the next 2 years, all the way up to November of 2012. I've been talking about something that I really am passionate about. It's called Battle 2010, Liberals versus Conservatives. I came up with the idea last year, and they contained 54 conservatives and 54 liberals of the most influential and powerful Americans today. I've ranked them by their power, their influence, from the ace of spades down to the two clubs, including the two jokers. And we've got biographical information on these folks. We've got a quote or two from these folks. And they not only are politicians, but they're the clergy. They sit on the bench of the United States Supreme Court. They are businessmen, businesswomen, entertainers, in the media, and icons. So look for Battle 2010, Liberals versus Conservatives. We've been talking about, for the last 2 weeks, the top 10 reasons liberalism is bad for America. And today is December 7th, 2010. The fourth reason why liberalism is bad for America is liberals are for a weak military. Or at least their actions say they are. And we're going to prove that. And secondly, the third reason, liberalism seeks to weaken our national sovereignty. Liberalism seeks to weaken our national sovereignty. Okay, so let's get into this program, shall we? Being December the 7th, and being a poli-sci major, political historian, presidential historian, let's pay homage to this man, our 32nd United States President, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, served from 1933 to 1945 during World War II, the Great Depression, and December 7th, 1941, this country was attacked for the first time on our soil in Hawaii. And he had the tenacity to pull a country that was shocked and surprised, and we went on to defeat fascism and Nazism, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, liberalism is associated with the Democratic Party. So if you bump into a Democrat, associate that man or woman as a liberal. Liberalism in America, all they want is handouts. Okay, they want entitlement programs, handouts. And the haves, who are the Barack Obamas, the Clintons, just whoever's in power, their Harry Reids and Nancy Pelosi's, they want that power. And they will keep that power, they will try to keep that power any which way they can by giving more entitlement programs to the have-nots and these folks that will pull the lever, keeping other folks like the Democratic Party in power. But this man who hates America altogether, who's our 44th United States President, doesn't believe in a strong military. He is cowing down to terrorism, and he's just bending over backwards, and he's got an Attorney General, Eric Holder, that's absolutely just given everything but the kitchen sink to these folks who bomb us, or try to bomb us. You know what? Waterboarding is not a bad thing to do if you can get some information, especially when we're at war, people. Now, this man right here let Saddam Hussein Okay, this is former President Bill Clinton. He was too busy with Monica Lewinsky and some other Kathleen's over there in the Oval White House that he let this man, Saddam Hussein, go on by for years and years and years and years. And what this man did was basically genocide. He was killing people. And I always tell the story that if you are a man and you see another man hitting a woman in the street, you've got several choices. Well, I am going to try to intervene and take out that man if I have to, okay? This is what George W. Bush did to this guy. And now he's dead, okay? And a lot of people in the media, a lot of people that are politicians, a lot of people that don't know jack shit, okay, said that this guy was wrong for going to war. I'm going to tell you something, people. Even if there was no mass destruction weapons uncovered, doesn't matter. He was killing his own people, okay? And if we didn't take his ass out, he could have possibly developed. So it was this man, not this guy, but this man who had the nerve, the guts, and the tenacity to not only keep us protected with a strong military after 9/11, but he also went after, Saddam Hussein and his henchmen. So I've got him on my conservative cards. He is the 7th of spades, and the reason he's the 7th of spades is because he's our former U.S. president. He's not as powerful and influential as other folks currently. But his quote, "Any government that supports, protects, or harbors terrorists is complacent in the murder of the innocent and equally guilty of terrorist crimes." All right. I agree with that. And you know what? He was a liberal all through and through. And that's why this particular site, conservativesviewpoint.com, we don't support a political party. We don't support a political candidate. What we are conservatives. And I'm hoping within the next 2 to 5 years that we drop the Republican Party so people like this guy doesn't slither, or Olympia Snow, or Charlie Crist, or Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't slither in and become a Republican, and that because they're not conservative, okay? We need a conservative party, two-party system. Liberalism, number 3. Liberalism seeks to weaken our national sovereignty. Okay, real quick, sovereignty is the quality of having supreme, independent authority over geographic area such as a territory. Kind of like America, okay? Sovereignty. Okay. So, why do you think liberalism wants to try to weaken sovereignty? Well, that's easy. In the Heritage Foundation, I pulled some excerpts here. The United States is a sovereign nation. Sovereignty is a simple idea. The United States is an independent nation governed by the American people that controls its own affairs. The American people adopted the Constitution and created the government. They elect their representatives and make their own law. The Founding Fathers understood that if America does not have sovereignty, it does not have independence. If a foreign power can tell America what we shall do and what we shall not do, George Washington said that this would be the end of independence and America's sovereignty. Liberal, ways that they are feeding off and making seem like America is the bad guy and America is the good guy, especially if you're on the team of America. We are one team, Americans. Okay? The Canadians have a team, the Mexicans have a team, the Russians have a team, the Chinese have a team, the Japanese have a team, we have a team, America. So when we get our own people, the liberals saying that we ought to bow down to kowtow, like our Secretary of State, our President, our Speaker of the House, or former Speaker of the House, and Harry Reid, our majority leader in the Senate, when these people are telling us that we need to kowtow to foreign leaders, our founding father, the father of our country, George Washington, said, it will fuck up everything. Okay, let me read on. The United States declared its sovereignty. It became a separate nation entitled to all the rights of existing nations. It therefore claimed the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract with alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right to do. The United States is legitimately sovereign, not because of a monarch's decree, but because in America the people rule. The purpose of government is to secure the people's right. Thus, American sovereignty is justified by the inherent God-given right of self-government. We got John Bolton. He's on my cards too. He's the former UN ambassador to the United States. Nice looking picture of Mr. Bolton here. Okay, he's my 7 of diamonds. And John Bolton, quote, on the card of Battle 2010, you can get him at the website, quote, we estimate that once Iraq acquires fissile material, they could fabricate a nuclear weapon within 1 year. Okay, I definitely agree with that. There are a lot of countries out there, America, that had the capability in this year, 2010 and beyond, of learning how to bring about nuclear weapons. Lastly, what are some examples of what the liberals are doing to break down our national sovereignty? 2 come to mind. It's progressive liberals who are bent on redefining marriage and family. And number 2, progressive liberals prefer to mandate fixes to America's social ills by taxing the wealthy and calling it redistribution of wealth. In other words, it doesn't matter if I go to school and you get your A and I get an F. I want my C and you can get your C. Okay? That's not how America was formed, and that's not how America is going to continue to be. Okay, so real quick, I want to give some other kudos to Ronald Reagan, who was very much about strong military. But on the card, we've got the conservative Americans. They are the king of clubs. That's you and I. Conservative Americans, which represent 89 million men and women, workers, or like 42% of America is conservative. So this is what is on the card, and this is the quote from this man. Okay, quote, freedom is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. Under the name called liberalism, America would adopt every fragment of the socialistic program. Ronald Reagan. And that's what Barack Obama is trying to do. Bring on his social economic programs to weaken America, and that's just, not going to happen, from this side of the pulpit. And we've got icons. Elmer Fudd, believes in, his gun and a strong America. The elderly, believe in a strong America, and they want conservatism, and they want that national sovereignty back into the fold. The masses, 42%, 89 million Americans are conservative, okay? That's adults. You got the young people. We got a lot of young people jumping on the bandwagon of conservative family values. We need to take it back. Latinos, blacks, Asian. But tomorrow we're going to talk about number 2. The number 2 reason why liberalism is bad for America. And that's going to be on political correctness. So, good night, America. See you tomorrow.